X-Men. Krakoa clashes with new enemies in epic Ten of Swords teaser art by Jamie Lovett. August 30th. That was a little while ago. Marvel Comics has revealed Pepe Larraz's key art for X-Men Ten of Swords, the first major X-Men crossover for the Dawn of X era. According to a press release from Marvel, the dark history of Arakko will soon be revealed. And when it is, the very future of mutant kind will be at stake. Now witness the cataclysmic showdown between the sword bearers of Arakko and the 10 mutants who will stand up to defend the new mutant nation of Krakoa in Pepe Larraz's breathtaking key art for Ten of Swords. This fateful clash and many others are what await readers in this crossover epic written by Jonathan Hickman, Tini Howard, and all the current writers of your favorite X-Men titles. The next chapter in Hickman's bold reshaping of the X-Men that began in House of X. This story will stand alongside influential X-Men crossovers like the Mutant Massacre and Messiah Complex. The victories will be legendary, the losses will be heartbreaking, the revelations will send shockwaves through the Marvel Universe. This sprawling saga will have a lasting impact on the future of the X-Men, forever changing the fate of the franchise's most prominent characters. I'm really hoping that that is true. I love Pepe Larraz's art. One of my favorite things that I have ever read in my life was Hoxpox, House of X and Powers of 10. That was the best miniseries that I've read about the X-Men in maybe 5 years. Honestly, I liked it. I have Claremont's run at the very top of my very favorite X-Men, the most important X-Men run ever, period, end of story. And then Hickman comes right after that, in my opinion. Not with Dawn of X, but with Hoxpox. So continuing, Ten of Swords is a 22-part event. The story begins in Ten of Swords creation number 1. This is the art that they're teasing at. It looks good. I mean, it's Pepe Larraz. Of course it looks good. I'll tell you, I have reservations about some of this, and the only reservations that I'm kind of talking about here are, I don't like all of the writing that's happening. It's just not my style. I really like a serious and somber tone when it comes to the X-Men, and we're not seeing that in a lot of these titles. There's so many kind of mom jokes that aren't funny, to be honest with you. And hey, look, I'm just giving my perspective. Some people may not like it. That's absolutely fine. You can disagree with me. Let me know in the comments how big of a jerk I am for not liking all kinds of writing. But that's the bottom line. I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like. But I have high hopes for this. Continuing with the article. We're in a really interesting time in that the books have launched and they're all healthy, and the reception of the line across the board has been fairly positive, I would say. Jonathan Hickman, Marvel's head of X, told comicbooks.com in February. Wow, that was February. That was a long time ago. And we know the things that we're doing down the road. And so what we're doing now, and Ten of Swords is a perfect example of this, is that we're just trying shit out. We haven't done a real crossover across a bunch of books. That was real, true crossover in a really long time. And so we got together as the X group, and we were like, we want to do a crossover. And the question is, okay, so were we just screwing around, or do we actually have a story? And thank goodness we have a story. But it's really a group experiment across the line, and we're doing that again in December, and we got some stuff and we're doing next year that works the same way. This is going to be a big crossover, and Tini Howard and I are writing the big chunks of it together, and then all the other X-Men books are going to filter in and out of it. The tarot stuff came from Tini. There's a scene in the Free Comic Book Day special, and it's the first issue as well, that ties into all that and pulls it together. That's where it comes from. Cool. Again, like I said, I'm going to read all these books. That's the bottom line. I've decided. So when it comes down to it, the biggest thing that I'm actually excited for is Pepe Larraz. About this entire thing, freaking love it. His Free Comic Book Day special, a lot of my past videos over the past week or so have really been showing off a little bit of his art. I did a video about Ten of Swords, the tarot card, talking about literally what that means, That was one of my favorite videos to make, honestly. I really do like talking about mythology and the tarot. And so I'm excited for this event, and it looks good. Let me just look a little bit deeper into this as well. The classified villain of Ten of Swords may be one of the greatest X-Men ever. I want to say X-Men. Looks like it's actually going to be a villain. So not necessarily an X-Man, necessarily. I mean, I guess so. Is one of the X-Men's greatest allies about to become one of their worst foes? Who is blank? And it's all crossed out. Marvel is once again teasing the identity of a mystery 10th member of the Sword Bearers of Arakko, the principal antagonists for the upcoming Ten of Swords event. Check out the teaser. That's it. A staggering secret will forever redefine Apocalypse's future. X-Men number 12. That's coming up really soon, by the way. This article goes, based on earlier clues, we've speculated the identity of this mystery person to be a longtime X-Men icon, Storm, and to see those clues for our reasoning. Based on this new teaser, we stick by that speculation, but tell us what you think. A mystery is brewing among the mutants of Krakoa, and the lead up to Ten of Swords and the Dawn of X-Era's first line-wide X-Men crossover as 10 mutants prepare to wield 10 powerful swords against an unknown enemy. The antagonists in question, the Sword Bearers of Arakko, are starting to shape up, with a just-released cover for Ten of Swords Stasis revealing their lineup. And it shows all these new names that we haven't seen before, so we're being introduced to a lot of new characters here. It looks fun. Despite the Sword Bearers of Arakko now being revealed, the identity of one important figure among the villains remains a mystery. Though 9 of the Sword Bearers have been named, the identity of one member of the team remains classified, potentially indicating the villain's true identity would be someone we recognize. And there may be some clues in recent X-Men comic books that could point to a likely answer. First of all, before this article continues, wouldn't it be interesting if this virus that Storm has been given, by the children of the Vault, what if that is more than just a virus? And what if it was a villain literally being planted to change her into becoming a villain? I don't know. It's a theory. It could happen. One of the most stalwart X-Men and often a leader of various X-Men teams, Storm has been one of the most central mutants in the X-Men saga since her introduction to giant-sized X-Men. By the way, I just kind of did a partial review on that, and I was talking about how Krakoa is absolutely the enemy. Like, the whole island is the enemy, and why would you want to get together and live on a big sentient island that's trying to murder you? Which is crazy, but that's what we're doing. That's Dawn of X. The weather-manipulating Storm has almost always remained loyal to the X-Men and to the side of heroism, but with Ten of Swords on the horizon, that may now be in question. That's absolutely what I was talking about here, and that's what we're leading up to. Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be awesome to see her as a villain for once? Her mind being controlled? Of course, I think that everybody's minds are actually being controlled by the island right now. I know I've been talking about that a lot. There is the matter of Free Comic Book Day 2020 X-Men one-shot that recently came out, presaging Ten of Swords with a teaser story that put the crossover's tarot themes front and center. In the Free Comic Book Day, Saturnine omniversal Magistrix of the Multiverse uses her version of fortune-telling tarot cards to read the X-Men's future through oblique cues and hints. Though she cycles through several cards that all may tease events to take place in Ten of Swords, one card in particular, the Eight of Cups, is especially relevant to the identity of the mystery swordbearer. Eight of Cups shows a person, apparently a black woman, whose image is split down the middle, with the image of the mystery swordbearer possibly indicating that this is what she looks like outside of her mask and armor. Though the identity of the woman is hard to say for sure, there aren't a whole lot of black women in the X-Men, especially not many whose betrayal or villain turn would be as devastating as Storm's. So, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Lots of theories, lots of cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing these books as they come out. Like I said, Pepe Larraz is just absolutely killing every single thing. I think he's the up-and-coming Marvel artist star. He's definitely my favorite artist at Marvel right now. That's the bottom line. Don't get me wrong. I love Stegman. I definitely love everything that Stegman's been doing as well. But there's something about the way that Pepe Larraz draws stuff that just pulls me into it. That's a little bit more mystical. It's not as cut and dry or raw form. It has a mystery element to it that kind of, and I wish I knew art terms so I could, I don't know, kind of talk about that better. I'm a writer, definitely not an artist. I can draw stick figures. That's about it. Love to hear what y'all have to say. Leave a comment below. Tell me I'm off base or tell me that I am absolutely right on track. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Support your local comic shop. You are the gateway into comics.